Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. 2019 is just about done. We are knocking on the door of 2020 here and coming down to her. It's been a busy year. We got a lot of stuff done for projects this year outside and up on the field. Some of the shop projects are coming along pretty good. 1113 still cooking right along. I got another bench full of parts ready to go on in the next video. Getting the itch to get back into X231 again. I know there's been some noise about where'd that go, what's happening to it. It's still right here. Kind of want to get back into her. I was getting burned out on it for a while, but I've been away long enough. It seems like it might be fun again. So starting to think about getting back into that too. But this video here, I'll do something a little bit different. I figure, we saw a lot of interesting things this year. I want to kind of throw together what my top three machines from the channel were this year. None of them are mine, but just kind of the ones that stand out the most in my memory. Like I say, saw a lot of interesting stuff this year, but a few of them just kind of stand out. I enjoyed a little bit more than the others, so we'll get into those here shortly. And I also want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I know I've had a lot of well wishes in the comment section lately for me and Senior and everyone else. We do appreciate that. I know I don't always answer back to a lot of those, but I do read them. Much appreciated. So hope everyone had a good Christmas, good holiday season, and here's to wishing all the best in the new year. May 2020 be good, well, and prosperous for everyone. So it's kind of crazy. This time last year I did kind of a year in review video, and we were about 12,000 subscribers then, and I thought if I could hit 20 in this year I'd be happy, and we're just about at 30,000 right now, which I don't understand it. I never thought that many people would be interested in the old goofy, obsolete, boring stuff that I'm into, but somebody must want to watch it. I don't know. Like I say, I don't even understand it myself, but thanks to everyone. I truly do appreciate it. If nobody bothered to watch this stuff, I wouldn't bother to do it. So anyway, we'll get into the top three. We'll start at number 3, work our way to number 1. So number 3 spot is a nice little 3J D2 that I saw at the Now Then Minnesota tractor show this year. And it's pretty much 1113's narrower version. It's a 1938, same year as 5J 1113. Nice little original unit, and it had some orchard fenders on it. A lot of options. Had a crankcase guard, a tow hook, it had lights, just a really belt pulley on the back. Really neat little machine. Runs and drives and works, and still goes like the day it was new. So instead of me talking anymore, we'll go back to the walk around I did of it, and maybe even review some of the operating footage I caught of it at the same time. Everybody, welcome to the channel. Had some people comment of all my walk around videos, I've never found a narrow gauge D2 to have a look at, and I finally found a narrow gauge D2, and it's kind of an interesting one because it has these orchard fenders on it. It says Bowman tractor fenders and fruit shields, manufactured by Crescent Sheet Metal Shop, and we have Santa Ana, California. So those were aftermarket orchard fenders for use in the fields. It would protect tree branches and stuff from getting broken. You could take these crawlers through, and this one says is a 1938. So we'll just check. It's pretty dark in here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this number. It looks like we have 3J240, so that would indeed make it a 1938 model year. First year out for the D2, so it's an early one. It's got the seat fuel tank. Back end is nice and clean yet. They're usually always dented in. And it has the Cat PTO with the angle drive belt pulley attachment on the back. Got the old guide lights on it. Period correct for the day. An old guide light on this side. Another neat little deal, we have a skid plate belly pan with a Cat Factory tow hook on it. That's kind of another neat little option. It's kind of an optioned out little Cat. It's got the early tall style bypass oil filter like old 5J 1113 does. Rope start pony motor. Air cleaner for the pony mounts in under the dash. Here's your engagement lever for that PTO. Brake pedal's nice and sharp yet. Look down here. This is a very early Cat Factory guard that goes over and protects your Alamite button head fittings for the lower track rollers. It's not meant to be a rock guard, which goes all the way down to the tracks, but it's just to kind of with these little bump outs here, protect these button heads from getting damaged. That's another little piece that you hardly ever see on these things anymore. Anyway, Caterpillar 3J D2, 1938 model here, first year out, narrow gauge. So number 2 spot this year goes to a cross motor case road roller that I found at the Albany Pioneer Day show, Albany, Minnesota, and built on a cross motor case tractor chassis and all kinds of extra iron added to it, the big flat road roller wheels, absolute original condition. Just for me, it was perfect. And the more I looked at it, the more interesting things I found, like the little flip over lugs for the drive wheels, the pneumatic powered, the pneumatic lift on the rear, like ripping attachment on the back of it, air compressor and everything for that. Had electric start. I was not familiar with the cross motors ever having electric start, but then I found out through people that know a lot more than me that a lot of the industrial line back then had electric starters on the cross motors, but we're getting off track here, but that's definitely solid number 2 spot. That thing had all the right amount of metal in all the right places, and to me it was just a beautiful, beautiful old machine. I've been kicking around here for a couple days, and I found this. Probably my favorite piece of old iron here this year. This is an old Case road roller. You can see the big Case logo up there on the radiator. We also have a Case maker's badge, size 10 ton, number 53002, J.I. Case Threshing Machine Company. So this is not an aftermarket maker's roller that used someone else's tractor as a power plant. Case actually made this, and it is quite rare. I've never seen one before. Just walk around here. There's a little bit of an information tag on the back. This is a 2545 Case road roller. This roller is the second one built out of only 25 by the Case Company around 1925. It's all original, and it was originally used in New York State. So it's got some miles on it. First thing, of course, you notice is the heavy, heavy iron and these flat wheels. I mean, that is just the spokes alone. They're just substantial. Great big center cap on it. Not sure what these pins are. I think what they are is you could flip them around and make them into lugs if you needed traction. They're all around. Otherwise, if you turn them the way they are, I'm pretty sure it gives you your flat surface on the wheel. The old cross motor design. Like all the old wires have the wood insulation around them yet. Keep them from shorting out. Here's kind of an interesting deal. Most all of these were hand cranked. The crank would pivot right here and it would engage these lugs to turn this thing over to start it, but this actually has an electric starter on there, and I've never seen an electric start set up on one of these cross motors. Granted, I don't know a ton about them, but it doesn't look like anything that anybody cobbled in either, because the casting is all integral to this front cover. Comes out, provides mounting for the nose cone. Another rather factory looking bracket here. It's got to be an original setup for this. Chain drum steering. You can see it winds around the pulley on this side. Comes up, anchors to your wishbone. Holds the front roller. The old riveted construction and the square-headed fasteners. Cobwebs are showing up just perfectly in the morning dew. I noticed we have this sprocket that has no chain, but this sprocket would have driven this sprocket, which is attached to a small air compressor. So what we need air for on this? Well, I believe it's for this rear ripping attachment back here. This looks like it's a pneumatic cylinder, it would provide your lift that comes down basically to your toolbar, your crossbar at the back that has all the shanks on it. Looks like it's got a travel catch that's engaged right now to make sure it holds up. All catch is attached to this little rod with this little handle on the top. See if we can trespass a little bit here, shall we? Get up on the operator's platform. Got a pedal down there. I'm not even going to guess what it does. I've never driven one. This old case gauge. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera. It still reads case. Looks like that was your air pressure gauge. Needle's stuck at 250 right now, and I'm pretty sure that that's not accurate. Oil pressure gauge there. So we have an amp gauge there. I like how they put the steel slats in front of them. I see that can fold down as well. Kind of like the old explosion-proof light bulbs back in the day. Shield them off a little bit. I suppose they intended for this to be a rather harsh environment. This lever here with the release at the top. Ratchet mechanism there. Again, not sure. We're just looking. A couple of levers here. I think these were maybe throttle. I'm pretty sure one was timing on these old things. Gear shifter. Looks like we have 3 positions, possibly 4. We got 3 for sure. Crank knob on the old wheel. Right now we got 1 revolution and just about 2, and I can see that chain start to move up there. So steering response would not be nimble, but it worked. And all you see ahead of you is engine. Awesome. See if we can get down before we get yelled at. All right, so number 1 on my list, it might be a little bit of a cop-out, but seriously, it's the most memorable machine for me from 2019. Probably also the most photographed and recorded machine in North America in 2019, and that's Union Pacific's Big Boy 4014 steam locomotive. Now, I really never noticed trains until after I had become a conductor with BNSF Railway. And in the years since, you know, I love being up on the head end of a train. I love the view from the locomotive. I love the view from the tracks. And like I said, in the years since, that's just an itch that I just can't scratch with anything. It was just a feeling. I mean, it was just a cool factor there. I mean, being on something that big, that powerful, that heavy, that just can't be duplicated through any other means. And you know, in the years since, we always called rail enthusiasts foamers, okay? And I was never a foamer. I never really paid any attention to trains. But in the years since, you know, after I had that experience, I had the feeling of being on a train, running a train, kind of being in charge of a train. There's just something about steam locomotives that's really, really, really captured my attention. And the fact that it's like they're alive when they're under steam. They breathe, and they have a presence about them. Each one has a distinct personality. And it's just something that in my mind just hasn't been captured with any technology since. There's just something vital about it that, for me, it really captures my attention. And to have 4014 come through here, not a mile from where I'm standing right now, basically almost through my backyard, you know, in a little podunk, nothing ever happens, dead town in northern Minnesota. It was just surreal, and especially after following the restoration of that on YouTube. On the UP Steam channel and stuff, I never ever thought that thing would basically come within earshot of where I live. And honestly, I get a little bit starstruck too. You'll notice at the end of the video, I'm shaking quite a bit, and it's literally like my heart was just pounding, my hands were shaking. But it's because when that thing is, I mean, you can't even see it yet, and you can already feel it. You can feel the ground under your feet is shaking, it's rumbling, and it hadn't even broke through the trees, you know, like I say, in the north woods of Minnesota, and you could already hear it. I mean, you were hearing that whistle. It was already beating in your chest, and you don't even see the thing yet. It's like you think you're going to see it, and it feels like it's right on top of you. It sounds like it's right on top of you, and it's like it's not even here yet. And it just kind of builds the excitement. That thing definitely knows how to make an appearance. I'll give it that. I said, I was shaking a little bit by the time that thing rolled through the crossing. But just to see it go down the same tracks that I used to run, just the thought of what it would be like just to be in that cab, that'd pretty much be the ultimate experience for me. It's hard to beat it. And everyone said that a big boy would never run again. They were too big. It would be too much of a job, too much work, too expensive. And one of those would never be live under steam again. And then Union Pacific did it. And when you actually see that, after following it, I mean, you see it in pictures, you see videos and stuff, but it drives like right through your hometown. And up to that point, it's something that had only really ever existed in the realm of mythology. It's like you actually see this living, breathing, giant creature right in front of your eyes. And, like I said, I get starstruck with things. That was something that just really, really stands out for me this year. So that's my top 3 for 2019. And in the next few days, I'm going to throw together some channel highlights from this past year. Just get 2 or 3 more videos up this coming week leading up to New Year's Day, just to kind of round things out and finish the year off. We'll keep banging on the projects here. Again, everybody, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the comments. And I hope 2020, like I say, is a good and prosperous year, not only for the channel here, but for all of you out there as well. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys back next year.